going into the combine, I'll be honest, the general sense is this draft stinks. And look, the reason why is because there are no apparent surefire, top-notch quarterbacks.
Right.
And there are no, with all due respect to our third-hour guest, Desmond Ridder, there are no Heisman Trophy candidate quarterbacks available in the draft. I mean, Trevor Lawrence last year, right? And then you had a New York team and the Jets eager to choose a quarterback, and then you have the 49ers trading up into the third spot for a quarterback, and then you had quarterbacks go 1, 2, and 3. And this year now it's Kenny Pickett and his 8.5-inch hands, and he's best known for fake hook sliding. And then Malik Willis, who looks stupendous, but who's watched Liberty football, right? Who even knows why he wound up at Liberty? Do you know why he wound up at Liberty? It's because he was at Auburn, right. And when Stidham was drafted by your Patriots and left, they went with Bo Nix instead. And he's like, I'm out of here.
Got it.
He winds up at Liberty. Who's watched Liberty football? The only reason why I've even talked about Liberty football on this show ever is because you remember Hugh Freeze, the coach,
was in the booth.
Was in the booth in a hospital bed?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't tap out? Because he was,
he was coaching that much, Rich.
He was coaching on a hospital bed or a dentist chair or some weird thing like that?
Yeah, it was weird.
I see Liberty on TV almost every day, but that's with an emu, so it's not the same.
And here's an interesting stat.
Shit.
Here's another interesting stat for you that came across my eye gate, is that the 2 times in the history of the NFL draft prior to last year where quarterbacks went 1, 2, and 3 in the draft, 1971 and 1999. The year after it went down, thus the 72 and 2000 NFL drafts, 0 quarterbacks in the top 15. 0.
Good stat.
So here you go again. Unless somebody pushes him up, it's not going to get as high as top 5 for Kenny Pickett, sir. You have lost that bet. You might as well give it to him, because the offensive linemen and defensive linemen that I saw
went nuts
before even Kyle Hamilton got out there.
Yeah.
And dude, I can't wait to ask Desmond Ridder about Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
Dude, that guy is all that and a biscuit. And then even if you're not into any of those guys for whatever reason, and Aiden Hutchinson, you're not into him, and you're not into any of the other Georgia Bulldogs for whatever reason, there's 2 Ohio State wide receivers that are off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. Let me tell you something about your Georgia Bulldogs, Christopher, or Sarah's Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah,
that you have
correct.
now.
I'll take credit. No, they're mine.
No.
They're mine now.
Guys, it's stupid.
Their whole team could go in the first round.
It's stupid what I saw. The 3 defensive linemen that were working out are all world. And then the linebackers that worked out, and Nakobe Dean wasn't even one of them, all world. And then seeing the kid from the safety position. Mm-hmm. They were incredible. And I'm like, no wonder Michigan couldn't run the ball worth a lick. Are you kidding me? So if you want to rush the passer, if you want to protect the passer, and I proffer to say all 32 teams wish to do that.
Bingo.
If you want to have some game-changing ability at wideout, I just mentioned about Olave and Wilson, the 2 Ohio State wide receivers. There were a ton of wide receivers that were fast, big, strong. Awesome. It's deep. And you know what the crazy thing is? It's deep. It's deep into day 2 and perhaps the top of day 3. So for all those folks out there who are wondering how the Rams can potentially follow up after their general manager effed all them picks, he's got the picks to use when this meat of this draft really begins to get put on the clock. So many talented people. And Jordan Davis, our Gorilla Glue kid, holy smokes, 341 pounds, ran a 4.7840. I could not believe what I was seeing in front of me. Now, I call a lot of the, if you will, call in quotes, the 40-yard dashes off the television set because you could see the clock when it's done. You know, I got to look down.
Yeah.
So even though it's right there in front of me, I call it off the television set because I need to say, you know, there's the 40-yard dash time. Boom, on the spot as soon as I see it. Jordan Davis, I had to use my own two eyes. I just had to see what it looked like. I had to see what this looked like, and then it turned into a 4.82 unofficial. I've never seen anything like that. And then he got out on the field, and the way he moved around, and the idea was that he was going to be maybe he might make the top 20. Mm-hmm. Brother, that's top 10.
Yeah.
And he might not even be the first Georgia Bulldog taken. That would belong to Trayvon Walker, who was off the charts. And Daniel Jeremiah said that he put Walker as the Giants' first of their 2 first-round picks, 5th overall. Ooh. And he said he got a lot of crap from Giants fans. Hey, Giants fans.
Yeah, how do you like me now?
Folks, you take this kid, and then there's Wyatt in between them. Dude, how the hell did Michigan get even half a yard against them? And we didn't even see Nakobe Dean work out. And the Baylor kids ran like the wind.
Phew, so fast.
So they're fast, strong, and so many of them have a good head on their shoulders. Really do. So, you know what? You go in, it's just like the draft. Well, you're correct. There are no surefire, game-changing, potentially generationally talented quarterbacks. One of them might wind up being one. Right?
Maybe.
Dak and Russell, and we all know TB12 didn't get chosen until later. But this is a deep draft, and they're talented. My gosh, are they talented. Oh, my gosh. Some of them may be raw, but all these coaches. I ran into one coach walking into the building on the last day. Defensive coach, obviously won't say who. They were just, they don't say the name. They're talking about this. There's one kid in particular that I really got to get. So when you're saying that going in, it's either, for defensive backs, it was either Sauce or Kyle Hamilton. And it was Sauce. And this, I mean, he is long-armed, and he
6'3",
is
right?
And he is.
I met like a 6'8".
I met him. I got to chat with him for a little bit. He had his Sauce bling around him. Yeah. Yes, chain around him, and he was just dynamite to talk to. Dynamite. Giants fans, if you wind up with Walker and Gardner, front and back end. I know they'll freak out because they think that they need to protect Daniel Jones, that offensive line, but holy cow, there are so many good players. Top 10. Top 10. And Jordan Davis, as soon as he did that, I told Daniel Jeremiah, you text your buddy Joe Douglas, say he looks good in green. And I don't know if he did that.
You're not buddies with Joe Douglas?
No, I've never spoken. Has he been on this show yet? Joe, come on.
Let's go. Number 1 fan here.
844-204-RICH. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.